Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I live in Mountain Village, Colorado. If you want to find out anything about me, you can do so by visiting my page at MySpace. This here deals with security guards. This is a profession that I've worked at off and on when I was much younger. Um, it's a very low paying job. I've worked security for the Klondike in Vegas. I've worked for the Marriott. I've done escort. I've done apartment. I've done all kinds of little security, even hospital security at Bay Memorial in Panama City, Florida, back when I was much younger. And none of these jobs paid a living wage. They were really pathetic wages. None of the security personnel that I ever worked with were professionals. There were a few, that were police officers or something like that, that worked from time to time, trying to make ends meet, kind of like our military personnel, who have a lot of them have to deliver pizza. Um, in their off hours, to make ends meet because Uncle Sam doesn't pay them anything. Uncle Sam spends most of the money on all the big missiles and technology and the equipment and the ships and stuff. It doesn't pay the people that operate them very much, especially if you're in the enlisted rank. Anyhow, what I'm trying to get at here about security guards is please do not ever put your faith and trust in any company's security personnel. For the most part, they're primarily non-professionals. I can remember at the Klondike in 1999 when I went to Vegas to work with my agent, Donna. And so I worked security for the Klondike just for the summer. And I remember security guards coming to work there. They get scared about something that was happening on property, and you'd never see them again. I've seen them one time, one security guard go off to lunch, never came back. I seen this happen at Bay Memorial when I was much younger. In Florida one time, security guard said him go to take a break. Never seen him again. Never came for his paycheck. Never turned his uniform in. Nothing. They get scared. They realize that it's a low-paying job, and they're putting their life at risk for pretty much absolutely nothing. So that's something you have to always remember. These are very low-paid people. And let me give you an example of a really, really pathetic situation. It's at the Marriott. This is right before I went back to Vegas in '99, summer '99. I worked for the Marriott in Panama City Beach, Florida, Bay Point Marriott. And we were just called loss prevention personnel. The guy that was in charge of the place was a dimwit. He spent 12 years in the military, quit. He spent 12 years as a police officer and quits. He could have retired on both of them. By now, he would have a two retirements, or at least a second retirement soon to come. He quit both. And they put him in charge of that. That's about all he's good to do, I guess, or qualified to do. But instead of security, do you know what we basically did? We basically carried luggage to people's rooms after the bellhops go home, around 10 or 11 at night. And in the morning, or I think it was around 5 a.m., we got to run and get some newspapers, and we've got to deliver newspapers to all the rooms where there are people in there. I would go in one area, and the other security guard would go in the other area. And sometimes there was only just me, so I would have to do it all by myself. And I have to be finished by 7 a.m. They even had us come in at 10:30 to work an extra 30 minutes for nothing, no pay, and no break. Now they said, well, we want you here at 10:30, and we want you off the clock by 7 a.m. We don't care what's happening. We want you off that clock. The security was a joke. Here's the reason why they have security at a lot of these places. It's evident. It should be evident to everybody, but obviously it's not. It's for insurance purposes. It's to keep the cost of insurance down. A lot of insurance companies demand that you have security. So they take these security guards and they put uniforms on them, call them security guards, but have them do a lot of other things that has nothing to do with security. And that ought to be illegal. And if I were you, I would talk to my lawmakers about that and put a stop to this. The Marriott Bay Point is security at that time is a joke. And in fact, Mr. Marriott himself, I guess it was him, or one of the bigwigs came down there right before I left, about 3-4 months before I left, to do an inspection, and half the people in the place quit because it was so badly run. They don't know they didn't know what they're doing. And when he came and did an inspection, he was just infuriated. But unfortunately, he didn't check about how bad the security was, because after he did leave, they decided they were going to take the security guards, pay them about a nickel more, which I think would be about $6.90, and going to make them night managers. So the $30,000-$40,000 job that they were paying a night manager, they're going to just give a nickel an extra hour for the security guards, and they're going to become the night managers from now on. And they'll wear a suit, no more uniforms. But they're still going to be called security guards. But they're night managers, working night manager jobs, but as security guards. You see what I'm getting at? You see where I'm coming from? It's a joke. And do not put your faith and trust in any security in Las Vegas. I know Las Vegas very well, and I know how the security works there very well. It's not very professional. And again, there is nothing, I'm not making any attack against any security guard. I've just worked the profession before. It's not much of a profession. It's not a professional job. A lot of security guards that I knew of, they're very low paid jobs and have very little skills, and you don't know what they're going to do in a crisis. They may turn tail and run. I can again remember when the Klondike, you saw a gangbanger come in going to the restaurant, little dinky restaurant they have there. And the Klondike I worked at was the one on the Strip, not too far from the MGM, and it's closed down now. But I think it's by the airport. I think the last time I was there, the building was still up there. I don't know if they've torn it down or not, or if something else has been built on there. It's been a couple of years since I've been to that area. Even though I've been back to Vegas, I did not go to look to see if it was still there last time I was there. Anyhow, I can remember this security guard just leaving, never coming back. And, of course, a lot of security guards sleep on the job at the Marriott. They hired a new security guard. What's he doing? He spends most of his night in bed in one of those rooms, vacant rooms, on the property. We had a meeting a few weeks later, and the guy that's in charge congratulated him for a job well done. He doesn't even know the guy's asleep. That's where your security is, and I can tell you a lot of stories about security guards sleeping on the job. It's quite rampant. But again, don't blame the security personnel themselves. It isn't their fault. None of this is their fault. The fault lies in these businesses and how they utilize security. And the fact that security guards are basically nothing more than just eyes and ears and nothing more. You just can't put your faith and trust that they're going to come to the rescue. There may be a few that will, and if you get lucky and one's an off-duty police officer, then you might luck out. But don't, especially in Vegas, don't place your faith and trust. It's a low-paying job. It doesn't, you get almost no benefits. I never did. And there's no reward for anything. I've caught people before. I've put people in jail before. Security company could care less. Now, well, it's your job. Big deal. That's their idea. They're just in to make a bunch of money. They make the money. You do all the work and get the low pay. But the company makes big money, especially with Whack and Tuck. So that's what I'm just trying to warn you about primarily. The heart of what I'm trying to say is don't put your faith and trust in these type of security personnel. And remember that a lot of companies, a lot of businesses, a lot of motels, hotels, restaurants, whatever, casinos, they do this. They hire security because they have to, because of the insurance. But they will a lot of times take these security guards and do something else with them and have them do other things that has nothing to do with security. Thank you for your time, and I hope this helps out a little bit.